Long ago, before the first man set foot on Westeros, the world was silent. Only the wind spoke, only the trees remembered. There were no castles, no swords, no wars, only the whisper of leaves and the breath of the earth. In those days lived the children of the forest, small, magical beings with eyes shining green like moss. They spoke to the wind, to the animals, and to the gods carved in the white trunks of weirwoods. And in the mountains and wide valleys wandered the giants, tall as towers, gentle as the morning sun. The children and the giants lived together in peace for thousands of years. The world was young, full of songs and magic. But one day, dark sails rose on the eastern sea. Ships came, heavy and strange. Men had arrived, the first men. They brought horses, fire, and bronze. They looked upon the forests and saw not sacred ground, but land to claim. They built villages, they cut down trees, they burned the groves of the gods. The children tried to speak through dreams, through whispers, through signs in the leaves, but men did not listen. When prayers failed, the children called to the earth. Roots rose from the ground. Trees moved like warriors. The forests themselves went to war. Wolves and shadows fought beside them. Fire met earth, iron met magic. For the first time, the world knew blood. The war lasted centuries. Rivers ran red. The sky turned gray. Magic faded. Every weirwood cut was a wound to the world. The children were tired, the men were broken, and the giants watched. For a long time, they kept their peace. But when men came for their valleys, when their caves were burned, the mountains roared. Giants rose from the mist, great, terrible, beautiful. They smashed stone walls, they hurled boulders, their footsteps were thunder. But even the giants fell, one by one. The earth became their grave. When the last giant fell silent, and the forests were black with ash, both sides saw the truth. No one could win. If the war continued, the world itself would die. And so they met on the Isle of Faces, beneath the weirwoods, their red sap weeping like blood. There, men and the children made peace. Men swore to never again cut the sacred trees. The children gave them the southern lands. The giants turned away and walked back into the mountains. For the first time in ages, there was silence, peace. A fragile peace, like ice beneath the spring sun. But men forget. Generations passed. New kings rose. They built castles closer to the north. They hungered for wood and for power. And once again, they entered the sacred forests. The children fled, and the world grew colder.
At first, it was only winter. Then it stayed. Snow that never melted, rivers that never flowed, birds that never returned. The children felt it. This was no season. It was punishment. The earth was angry. The balance was broken.
Desperate, the children turned to the oldest magic. They would make a protector, a being of ice and night, one who would never tire, never fear, never die. In a circle of standing stones, they bound a man, a warrior who had burned their groves. On an altar of black dragon glass, they drove a shard into his heart. The earth screamed. The sky went dark. His cry became frost. His eyes blew fire. His soul ice. The first White Walker was born. A weapon forged to defend the world. But something went wrong. The weapon chose its own enemy. He looked upon his makers and saw no difference between them and men. To him, all life was the same, all warmth an enemy to be erased. He walked into the snow, and from his steps others rose. Thus began the first long night, when winter itself became alive. Far to the north, a lone figure walks across the endless ice. His blue eyes burn like stars. Behind him, his footsteps never melt. They thought they had created a protector, but they had given birth to death. And so began the Song of Ice and Fire. Dear viewer, thank you for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe so you won't miss the next part. And tell me in the comments, what did you think of this story? What would you like to see in the next episode?